Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, then thanks for joining us today. What I'm going to be discussing is how I arranged our family command center. Now, as some of you know, we have only lived in our house for just under a year, so this sort of back to school family command center is a new thing for me. I did have a station before, but as the boys are getting older and they will both be in two different schools, I needed something that was fairly big that was going to work with our entire family, since all four of us are in different places at different times and we lead very busy, sort of hectic schedules. So I thought this piece of furniture was great. Now, this piece of furniture is old. It is it's an original piece in our house, and it does need a bit of love and work. I'd like to get some inserts, to make the walls look nice and stuff inside, but for now it's functional and it works well for my boys, as well as for myself and my husband. So I'm going to show you how I arranged it. Now, it is set up in three different parts. We have two very large cupboards at the top. We then have sort of a shelf, as you can see behind me, which I sort of use as the main command center, the main functional part where we can all come together and see what's going on. And then at the bottom, these are used for the kids' supplies as well as family games, but I will go through everything with you. Now, if you have a family command center, please do let me know how you've arranged it, because I'm always looking for new ideas, and it's great for us moms to be able to share how we run our busy households. So I'm going to take you through step by step how I've arranged things and how they work for us. Just to let you know, I do have two children. Jack is a preschooler this year. He's just turned 3, and Harry is going into year 1. I can't believe that. And he is 6 years old. So they're at nursery and then they're at, regular school. So I needed a way that it was going to be sort of separated for the boys, but also so that they were able to do activities together. So without further ado, I will show you how I went ahead and arranged our family command center. Okay guys, so the cupboard that I have opened here, which I'm going to talk you through, is the boys' sort of school supplies as well as their learning station, and it's on the ground level. So this is purely for the children. I wanted them to be able to have a place that they could come and they could grab it with their little fingers, and they wouldn't have to, grab stools and step up on things and stuff, because my boys are notorious for doing that. So I wanted something that was functional for them, that was easy, and that was also right by our kitchen table, because me, as well as I'm sure a lot of moms do this, I prefer my children to do their homework or their preschool work at the kitchen table where I can see them actually do it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what's inside their learning cupboard right now. So at the top right here, I have both boys' pencil cases. Now Harry's is full of markers as well as pens, because he's able to handle that, whereas Jack's is more sort of Crayola crayon based. Here we have our letters and our numbers, which the boys like to play with on the fridge, as well as we can do learning projects with them. At the back I have all my paint cases, as well as all the paints here, which are child-proof, and then our glue, as well as our Play-Doh at the back. So like I said, if the boys want to do an activity, they can come and grab this. Just ask me and then head over to the table. Now down here, this is sort of our learning zone. At the summertime, I keep out all of Harry's workbooks, so he's got his math and his English, and then connect the dots to practice, as well as Jack has just sort of like a little farmyard book, which he's been working on. I have pencils, which are easy for the boys to access right here, and behind them I have child-friendly scissors, as well as glue sticks. So the boys can just come and grab their books, and then we do a little activity every day after breakfast. At the bottom down here, now this box I have had for years. It has stayed with us. I think this was Harry's first toy box when he was a baby. But in there, I've just put recyclable art, things like egg cartons and stuff like that. Sometimes the boys like to make models, and it's a great way for them to do, family activities together. Okay, heading on over here, we've got our family games. So basically, we don't really have any kind of challenging games. I mean, like I said, my kids are 3 and 5, but we do have some games we haven't even opened yet, which I think we will do later on in the summer. But Harry loves playing things like snakes and ladders, as well as the Guess Who, and it's just a great way for him just to be able to come and grab them, and we can sit at the kitchen table and have a game. Okay, like I said, up here we've got these two huge cupboards. So basically what I wanted to do was utilize these in the way that I could keep things that we needed down here, but that the boys couldn't really access. So at the very top up there, I've got all my bubble wrap for wrapping gifts, as well as sending parcels. Here is sort of like my wrapping paper and my party supplies. I didn't want the boys to be able to access those because those are things that I've saved for several occasions. And then down here I have two piles. I basically have all of Harry's coloring things and all of Jack's coloring things. Now I have moved these up here because I'm trying to focus on learning this summer. The kids, I find that if they just see their learning books, those are the ones they go for. Whereas if they saw something like, this Frozen package, they'd aim for that. So I will move those back down when school starts so that we can use those on the weekend. Then moving over to this cupboard, this is sort of a work in progress. Now this is where I keep all my planner stuff because I have been doing my planning on the kitchen table. Eventually we will be starting an office upstairs, so hopefully I'll get a desk and be able to move all that. But then I just have my cards and my tape and all that kind of planner accessory stuff. But right now this is what works for me and nobody else can access it other than myself. Okay guys, so now we have these three big chunky drawers. Now these drawers take a lot of effort to open, so the children can't actually open these. Well, I'm sure Harry could, but Jack definitely can't at the moment. So I utilize these this way. This first one is our junk drawer, which I would like to, I'd like to get this organized a little bit more. Technically, it's actually my husband's drawer. He's got all his sort of stuff there. But it works for him at the moment, and he's just, gosh, he's got so much stuff in here. I would like to get dividers at some point to keep things a little bit more organized, but for now it's working. This is kind of our electronic drawer where we have old remotes, we have old phones, batteries, that kind of stuff that we might need. That we hang on to, if our phone's broken, we need a replacement. And then down below, basically what I have are different things I'd like to put up in the playroom as well as in the kitchen. Okay guys, so now I'm going to talk you through the most crucial part and the most important part, and that's where our whole family comes together and we use the actual command center. So what I'm going to do is walk you through how I've arranged it and how it works for a husband who works out of the home, a mom who sort of works in the home and who runs the household, and then two boys at two different schools. Okay, so starting over here, I have both the boys' backpacks. Now I decided to keep the backpacks here on the command center rather than in the closet because when the boys come home from school, what we do right away is take the papers out of their bags, go through them, fill anything out, put any kind, if they need money for the next day, if they need, things signed or whatnot, they go right back into their backpacks. And we do all this at the kitchen table, so I thought it made sense just to have them visible where I can see them and I know that everything's been done. So moving over here, we have two box files. Now I have always had these type of files sitting on our command center and I find them really useful. We have a pending file, and that is anything that needs to get done that week. I try to empty it out on a Friday. And then we have a useful info, and that is basically anything, in our surrounding area or in Britain, and just things like the Historic Housing Association book, National Trust. We've got here, I think I have a file here just full of stuff to do for the summertime. Just things like if we have visitors or if we're looking for things to do on the weekend, we can go to this box and we're always bound to find something. Now I'm just going to cover this up because it has my son's school name on it. But I then have two files, and I am actually going to be adding a third file for Jack's nursery. But I have my home management binder, which I'm going to be doing a video on at some point. I just need to get it very organized beforehand. And then I have a binder for Harry's school where I save every single piece of paper that comes home that year so I can refer to it. And then at the end of the year, I just chuck them. But it's just good to have everything on hand so I know when he's done his field trips, when they've had presentations, that kind of thing. And then moving on over here, we have another junk box, although this one's a little bit more organized. So that just has little things like matches, tape, your necessities that you kind of need around the kitchen. Then moving over here, I tried to keep this section as clutter-free as possible. I have a pad that I've bought called This Week's Plans. Oh, sorry guys, that's not focusing. It's called This Week's Plan. Come on, focus. Okay, we're focusing better now. So that's called This Week's Plan. I think I've said that about 4 times now. And basically what it is a place for everyone to let me know what they're doing this week, and then I can transfer it over to the family calendar. It's just quick and easy. James can just jot it down. That's why we've got a whole, excuse me, a whole section of pens and highlighters and whatnot. And I can just keep up with what everybody's doing. I mean, generally, I obviously know what the boys are doing, but a lot of the time, sometimes James might have like an extra gym class, or he has to stay late at the farm. And it's just an easy way for me to keep up. And then obviously tissues. And then in here, we have all our keys from different properties. And then moving over here, we have the baby monitor, which goes into both boys' room. And then this is our charging, which is actually really bare at the moment. I think everybody must have taken their chargers somewhere, and then that is a little speaker for your iPhone. So there you have it, guys. That is our family command center. There's not a lot to it, but I find keeping it as simple as possible, especially when you're dealing with 2 boys and a husband, it makes it a lot easier. I hope you're enjoying this back to school series. Please do let me know in the comments down below, and I will link my other videos that I've done in the series down below as well for you to see. And please give me any suggestions of things you'd like to see, because I always love hearing from you guys. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.